Welcome back to Shadow Truth, the place where the line between reality and the impossible begins to blur. Today's story is about a 16-year-old boy named Ryan, quiet, lonely, and often invisible in the eyes of the world. Till one day, he truly became invisible. It started with a package that arrived on his doorstep. No return address, no label. Just a matte black box with a silver seal and a folded note that simply said, "Use it wisely. Not all doors should be opened." Inside, there was a metallic bracelet, cold silver, etched with ancient, shifting symbols that seemed to move when stared at too long. The moment Ryan slipped it on, his vision pulsed, and in a blink, his reflection vanished from the mirror. At first, he thought he was dead. But his heart was racing, and he could hear everything. He wasn't gone. He had become invisible. His footsteps made no sound. His presence didn't trigger automatic doors or motion lights. And even his dog barked at thin air, completely unaware he was standing right there. After the initial shock faded, the temptation began. He roamed the school halls during class, unseen. He eavesdropped on conversations, walked into movie theaters without paying, even rode the train without a ticket. But as the days passed, curiosity turned into obsession. Ryan began entering people's homes. At first, it was innocent. He'd sneak in, look around, leave. But then he started staying longer, watching people, neighbors, teachers, strangers, studying their secrets. One night, he entered the home of his history teacher, Mr. Vane. What he saw was terrifying. The basement was covered in chalk drawings of a symbol, the same one on the bracelet. In the center of the room, Mr. Vane was sitting cross-legged, eyes closed, whispering something over and over in a language Ryan didn't recognize. On the wall behind him were Polaroids of dozens of students, including Ryan. Suddenly, Mr. Vane stopped chanting, opened his eyes, and looked directly at the wall, where Ryan stood, and smiled. Ryan panicked and ran. But the symbol began appearing everywhere, scratched into bus seats, painted on alley walls, showing up in dreams. He tried to remove the bracelet, but it wouldn't budge. Finally, he traveled to the edge of town, to the abandoned mansion that locals whispered about, the one that had no listed owner, no power supply, and yet lights were always on inside. He entered. The interior was untouched by time. Thick velvet curtains, antique furniture, old photographs of people with their eyes blacked out. At the end of the hallway, behind a door sealed with that same shifting symbol, he found a control room. Monitors, dozens of them, all showing live footage from random people's homes, some of them from his neighborhood. Some of them were students from his school. One monitor showed his bedroom, and standing in it was a hooded figure. The figure looked directly at the camera, and then straight at Ryan, through the screen. "You're not the first," a voice whispered from behind him. Ryan spun around, but no one was there. Suddenly, the bracelet began to glow red hot. Smoke rose from his skin. He screamed, tore it off, and blacked out when he opened his eyes. He wasn't in the mansion anymore. He was inside a sterile white room. No doors, just a single security camera blinking red. The bracelet was gone from his wrist, but now tattooed into his skin. Outside, search parties looked for Ryan. His family filed a report. His room was left untouched, but the black box, it was no longer on his porch. Days later, it appeared again on another doorstep, in another town, addressed to another lonely teenager, with the same note. Some say the bracelet is an ancient device, part of a secret surveillance ritual passed down by unknown watchers. Others believe it's a test, to see who gives in to temptation. No one has returned it. No one has broken free. And Ryan, he's still watching. Maybe even from behind the screen you're looking at now. If this story gave you chills, subscribe to Shadow Truth, where the strangest stories aren't just fiction. They may already be happening around you.